Great products, low prices, helpful service. That's Harris Ace Hardware. Harris Ace is your place for Yeti coolers, Traeger grills, Costa de Mar sunglasses, Calcutta Renegade coolers, plus Harris Ace is your hometown dealer for yellow wood treated lumber. Harris Ace will not be undersold on price, so you know you're getting the best price at Harris Ace. Your favorite place for hardware and lumber supplies is Harris Ace Hardware, West Cherry Street in Jesup.
Time now for a look at the latest in local sports. In sports, the Braves magic number down to 8 as they win last night, 3-1 over Philadelphia. Nationals beat the Twins. Braves and Phillies again tonight, 7:05, immediately after our varsity girls softball game this afternoon against Statesboro. Wayne County High School football this Friday night at JC Stadium. Kickoff at 7:30. Jacket walk at 5:45. Everyone invited to come on out and support the Jackets hosting the Eagles of Beaufort, South Carolina. Jackets 1-0 on the season. Beaufort 0-1. Jackets remain ranked in the top 10 in 5A football after 3 weeks of play and only playing just one game. Coach Cribb says the rankings are more about respect than anything else.
I do, and I want to say this, rankings are nothing more than respect. It's a compliment to us that we're in there, especially with only playing one game. But we've proven that, we're a solid program and we can compete with anyone. Thing now in the message, and I think Coach Walker said this last week one day, this group we got this year reminds us a little bit of that Bainbridge crowd last year. They didn't have great numbers, and they played both ways. I mean, late in the game, their running back, who was one of the best in the state, he's on defense with a pick six. And so we feel like we have high-quality players on this team. Our numbers aren't enormous, but we got kids that can play with anybody. So we feel good about where our program's at, and the top 10 is pretty thick. I think any of the 10 could be. Of course, you got your top 2 or 3, and then everybody else could be anywhere in that order, in my opinion. And I feel we can play with anybody if we stay healthy. If we can stay healthy, I think we have a shot to compete and do take care of the football, block well, tackle well. And be good on special teams, and we're going to be hunting.
And you can hear all the coaches' comments this Friday night on the Wayne County Coaches Show that airs at 6:30 on Friday afternoons. Again, immediately after that is the pregame show from the stadium, then the ball game. Then after the game is the Country Financial postgame show with comments from head coach Ken Cribb, and after that is the high school scoreboard show up until midnight with Tommy Palmer. Some other games around the area this Friday night: Appleton County hosting Dodge, Bacon hosts Telfair, Brantley hosts Jeff Davis, Richmond Hill at Camden, Effingham at South Effingham, Colquitt and Valdosta hook up, Liberty at Evans, and Long County takes on Bryan County this Friday night. A couple of middle school football games played Wednesday. Arthur Williams lost over at Long County 20-0. An exciting game at JC Stadium between Martha Puckett and Pierce Middle School. Pierce jumped out to a 13-0 lead on 2 blocked punts for touchdowns as Wayne's punter was only 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. The punt, which was easily blocked by Pierce for 2 touchdowns. Martha Puckett came back and took a 20-13 lead, only to see Pierce score the go-ahead touchdown with under a minute to play in the game. But Martha Puckett's young 6th grade quarterback Jeb Craven took over, led his team to victory, actually threw 3 touchdowns in the final drive. Fortunately, the third was caught for the winning touchdown as the other 2 were dropped. Again, he scores the winning touchdown with just 5 seconds on the clock. On first and second downs, he threw to wide-open receivers for touchdowns, but both times the receiver dropped the ball. Third time's the charm. Craven to a wide-open receiver for the touchdown and the win. 6th graders fun to watch play quarterback. Jeb Craven, he can spin it, as they say, with the best of them. If he continues to improve and grow, I could easily see him being the starting quarterback at Wayne County High School as a freshman, and probably a better baseball player than football player, but the kid's fun to watch and play, has a very bright future. As they say, get the sunglasses, because the future for this kid is awfully bright. We've got varsity girls softball today as the Lady Jackets are back in region action this afternoon at home. They take on Statesboro at 5:30. Pregame will begin around 5:20 this afternoon. Lady Jackets looking to improve the region record, which sits at 1-3 on the season. Most likely once again going to face B.A. Rogers of Statesboro, who's in her senior year. She struck out 17 Wayne County batters in a shutout win against Wayne County over in Statesboro back on August 22nd. Once again, our coverage begins at 4:20 this afternoon. 5:20 this afternoon. Game time at 5:30. Girls volleyball team headed to New Hampstead this afternoon. That first match gets underway at 4 p.m. Varsity cross-country teams in action today at Richmond Hill. The race begins at 4 p.m. over at Richmond Hill. College football this weekend, number 3 Georgia at home at a 12 noon kickoff against Arkansas State. Georgia Tech at home hosting the Citadel. That's a 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Have it for you on AM 1370. and Georgia Southern, a tough game on the road at Minnesota, a 3:30 p.m. game. That kickoff on FM 105 Saturday afternoon. Not many good college games Saturday. Florida, Kentucky Saturday night. It should be fun to watch an SEC East battle. Penn State and Pitt don't like each other. They meet Saturday at Penn State. Alabama's at South Carolina, favored by 4 touchdowns. Clemson at Syracuse, and Oklahoma at UCLA. Also Ohio State and Indiana. Just some of the college games this weekend. NFL football. This Sunday, the Falcons at home for the Sunday night game at 8:20 as they host the Philadelphia Eagles. We've got that game on Big Dog Country, FM 105 Sunday night. While we got Jacksonville on AM 1370 Sunday afternoon at Houston for a 1 p.m. game. Jaguars lost their home opener to the Kansas City Chiefs, coached by one of the longest tenured coaches in the NFL, Andy Reid, who addressed the media after the win and mentioned how hot the conditions were.
Like I mentioned to the guys, it doesn't matter how pretty they are or not pretty. I mean, everybody, they come down hard on themselves if they feel like they haven't played well, but you enjoy every win in the National Football League. It's too hard to get. There's a good football team here, and Doug has done a heck of a job of working these guys and putting them together, and they played with some key positions injured and still competed their heart out to the end. So, Coach Coughlin, who's not a coach anymore, but Tom Coughlin, again, you play one of their teams, Doug's teams, and you better be ready for a good, tough football game, and that's what it was. And I'm proud of my guys for the effort that they put in. I mean, it was a son of a gun out there, and I was hot. While you guys were up eating hot dogs, man, it was hot down there. So our guys fought through and did a nice job with that. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Andy, with Patrick, how do you, he had the injury then, and how do you weigh how much you'd let him keep going? And
Yeah, he was good. I mean, he said he's had ankles before, so basketball and so on. So he felt comfortable going. I mean, I tried to keep a close eye on it the best I could, as Rick did. It didn't look like it was hindering him, so we left him in, and we went with that. I'd also like to just say on Sammy. Sammy did a heck of a job out there today also. I thought he had a nice game. The kid's worked so hard to get himself over that whole injury thing that he's had, and put that he's never wavered. He's put it in the back burner and worked his tail off and had a nice game.
Again, those comments after the game of head coach Andy Reid. NFL football tonight, Tampa Bay at Carolina. One other NFL notification missed it yesterday. Wayne County's T.Y. McGill signed Tuesday with the Washington Redskins, released by the Chargers before the season. And the Redskins make some roster moves on Tuesday, sign McGill to this year's Washington's defense. Again, the Jaguars traded this week for backup quarterback Joshua Dobbs from the Steelers. Dobbs played his collegiate ball at Tennessee. Nick Foles put on IR last Sunday after the surgery for a torn clavicle. Gardner Minshew out of Washington State, the rookie, now gets to start in Jacksonville. Gets his first start this coming Sunday afternoon in Houston. That's going to do it for latest in local sports. Sports is brought to you each and every day at this time by friends at Harris Ace Hardware.
Cars cost way less in Jesup. Come get more.